It's not in your head. It might be in your brain a bit.
A really clean example of this happened to me where I love to go fishing and fish out of a kayak a lot of the time. And there was one day where I went through the work of bringing all my kayak and all of the fishing stuff down to the water, and the surf report was wrong. And the waves were very big and not flat calm like it was supposed to be. But I could see that there were fish behind the waves. And as previously referenced, I'm a bit of an idiot. And so I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. And so I get in my kayak, I've got my fishing rods, my cooler on the back and the whole thing, and I get hit by a really big wave and the kayak gets knocked sideways. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to leave the kayak out there, get to shore, and then organize myself and do that. And I get like halfway to shore, another big wave comes, hits the kayak and sucks it out to sea. And as it sucks it out to sea, all of a sudden I'm just in the air and I don't know what's happening. And then I like get pulled underwater and is really completely surprised and disoriented. And then I like get a breath of air, try to get back to the shore. Same thing happens. The second time while I was underwater, I was like, I'm not understanding something about what's happening right now. And what I realized is that as my kayak flipped, one of my fishing rods had gone into the sand, snapped in half, and the hook from my fishing lure had ended up in my foot. And so every time the kayak would get sucked out to sea, I would basically get tripwired by this hook in my foot. And so I like managed to gnaw my way through the fishing line, get to shore, and there was no pain up to this point in the story because I was drowning. And my brain was like, hey, you're drowning. We need to deal with that problem. So like any other problem is not something we're going to deal with right now. And then as soon as I got safe and on the shore and looked down and there was a very gruesome wound in my foot where I had been like yanked into the air by a fishing hook, all of a sudden now my body started hurting, right? And so your brain is just prioritizing the signals from my foot aren't what is controlling my experience of pain.